Okay, so do not mind the fact that I look the way I look right now. Even though I don't look bad, I'm just saying. So I'm finna eat, but I'm finna talk to y'all. Y'all know I'm finna eat. Anyway, I'm about to talk to y'all about this pandemic that never really stopped, and that is why people should stop listening. Everybody had the instinct that they didn't want to go back outside, didn't want to stop wearing masks, and didn't want to be around people, didn't want to go back to work and stuff like that. Obviously, the smart people knew that during summer the rates were going to go down for corona. Are they even calling it corona anymore, or is it just called COVID? Because I'm still a little bit mixed up with the names that they just make the names so different all of a sudden. But we all knew that it was going to die down during the summertime because I'm black, so I know all about the sweat it out method. Of course, it wasn't going to be too many sicknesses if it's hot outside. Duh. So, but that doesn't make a difference from people getting the virus. Yeah. I think it's going to happen more when it's like cold, probably. But by the time it's actually like snowing, we are going to be on lockdown again. It's like, uh, it's just like, you could kind of tell that that was going to happen. Because technically, history is repeating itself. Little do people want to admit to themselves because they want to be right so bad. Really? That's all we keep talking about. And like people really want to think that we're not going to go back on quarantine and that we're okay. I think it's going to be worse the second time. So I don't think it's going to be a school go to work type of thing. I think like we hit it into our like history repeats itself. That's why people who don't learn history are doomed to repeat it. That's why that saying is a saying. In the 1920s, well, in the 1900s, years 100 years ago, this is exactly the timeline that happened. The Spanish flu happened, which the Spanish flu, COVID, it's like the same thing, not the same thing exactly, but same structure. That's what. Okay, so let me tell you. Let me tell you. So the 1900s. Yeah, definitely. I for sure think so. And that's because I'm going to be one of those people. Once the cases are already going up, but once the cases get there, like in other places, I'm not going to work. They got me messed up. And if people be smart, they better not go to work either. Y'all putting y'all lies out there for people that are staying home, that are billionaires, staying home and letting y'all work. So, but anyway, so this is how it goes. First, it's the pandemic, and what it happens is it's some type of flu, it's some type of like immune system disease going around all the whole entire world, which then it was the Spanish flu. And then they fixed it or whatever. It happened. A lot of people died. A lot of people came out of jobs, stuff like that. Same thing that's happening now. Then after the Spanish flu happened, the Roaring Twenties happened, which is when technology, the radios came, the phones came, and like they thought they were doing something because a whole bunch of things became new, and yeah, you know they thought they were doing something. But then the inflation, how you say that, inflation rates went up, and that's the economy losing money, and the supply was down and the demand was high, which is what happens when we go on lockdown. Yeah, everybody who I know who got vaccinated, they still get COVID. They just don't feel the symptoms. So really, it's not it's so you don't feel it, so you won't feel it, but you're gonna still catch it, and you can still pass it to other people because it's not saying that it's not gonna come into your body. It's just saying that you're not gonna be affected by it when it comes into your body. So you can still pass it to other people and all that kind of stuff. So getting the vaccine doesn't mean that like it magically just is gone. That's why they should have never have let us go back outside this whole time. But so in the 1920s, that's the Roaring Twenties. Y'all know Great Gatsby, fringe, sequins, telephones. A lot of people became millionaires. A lot of people became famous. So what's happened? Okay, so our thing of that is like TikTok. So that's technology. So TikTok, a lot of people just became famous and new billionaire. I mean, new millionaires. A lot of artists just became new billionaires and stuff like that. Ooh, I hope not, Leilani. I really hope not because, well, it's like it's a prophecy. It's literally in the Bible, and I feel like that's exactly why you can time it, and it's every 100 years. It's every 100 years, and every time we're in the decade of the 20s, that's when stuff like really start going down for real. And yeah, yeah, it's just crazy. It's like they do so much. They want to control it so much, but it's not something that can be controlled. You can't control destiny. You can't control karma, law of attract. You can't control actual like the natural way of things. Whether you believe in God or you believe in the universe or you believe in a higher power, or if you don't, which if you don't, that's weird. Cause like then how did we get here? But that's their karma, and that probably is true because in the prophecy, it says basically that basically it says it's karma. And if you think about it, what was happening 100 years ago and stuff, and then the beast rising out of the sea. First of all, the beast rising out of the sea is all of the black souls that were in the slave trade, the people that got pushed off the boat, or if they jumped off the ship, however it went really. But the people who are in the ocean that are black from the other countries, which we come from as well, our ancestors, their souls have been trapped under the water. That's why in the Gulf of Mexico, the water was on fire and they couldn't put it out how they was trying to put it out. The water was on fire. That's a prophecy too. That's in the Bible. That's because all of this stuff is karma. It's karma. So that's why a lot of people are gonna die. A lot of people are gonna a lot of people woke up. The first quarantine, a lot of people woke up because that's like that's like God's way of like showing you. It's like it's like Noah in the ark. He showed Noah to build an ark. He showed Noah to get out of there. He showed him like what was going to happen basically and how he could survive it. Before it happened, before the signs started coming on the real planet of what was happening. He told Noah, but nobody was listening to Noah. But guess what? Those 8 people who got on the boat, they saved. They were saved. The animals, they were saved. And then what happened? Everybody got locked off on out the boat. For human population. Dang, that's crazy. And that's because their ancestors did all those horrible things to our ancestors. And there's still a lot of racist older people and younger people kind of on this planet now. And that is not okay. That is very much a sin and is to be judged, judgment day, everything. But Noah, before the flood happened, Noah and them was on the ark still before the flood even started. They closed the doors at a certain time. And if people didn't make up their mind to get saved and accept Jesus and accept what was going on before it was time for them to close the doors, they had to stay outside. So when they was coming banging on the ark telling Noah to let him in, God told him they couldn't come in. They had their chance to get saved, and now they want to get saved when they see it happening. You were supposed to have faith when it was happening before you could see it. Yeah, yep, I heard about Lake Lanier and how it was a thriving black communities, and then they killed them and made a lake. How does stuff like that is so wild to me that stuff like that happened and they like that it even happened. How did they not get stopped when they did that? That just is so bizarre to me. That's just sad. I don't know, but I know all the black people now. Y'all better stop killing each other, and we better band together. And I'm not saying it's gonna be against the racist thing, because I really don't think that it's really about racism. I think it's a lot of evil people on this planet that are racist who are gonna get dealt with naturally. But as a human race, it's something bigger going on, and a lot of people don't look at it the way we supposed to be looking at it. Right, because they tried to get rid of the black population because they started thriving and doing better than they was doing, and they didn't understand why. And that's because those black people was listening to God. I promise you, last year when we was on quarantine during May, that's when I had my spiritual awakening. Stuff started going. I started thinking I was crazy. My family thought I was crazy, and I'm telling them, my dreams started coming true. For 14 days, I couldn't even go to sleep. Like, it was just like a whole bunch of things. I heard my grandma's voice, who died when my mama was 13. So of course I ain't never met her, but I heard her voice. She spoke to me. Like, I felt my soul lift. When y'all hear Beyonce say in her song, what is it, Hold Up or something like that, when she was like, she levitated, like all the things she was saying that happened to her when she was going through what she was going through, when Jay-Z cheated on her or whatever. That's exactly some of the, not exactly all the way, because I don't know what she was talking about, plugging her menses with the Bible or whatever. I don't know what she meant by that. But the Bible did start making sense to me. But yeah, and it's crazy because everybody go through this. It seems like females go through this once they get their heart broken by a man. But I don't know if that's exactly what, but I know that's what I was going through. Me and my boyfriend broke up, and you know, I just felt different. I just felt really different. And then I ain't gonna lie, I started hearing things that didn't sound like the normal voices that I have in my head thinking and stuff. Then I found out it was my ancestors letting me know, like, it's some crazy stuff going on. You don't want to be a part of it. You don't want to be a part of it. Now tell them what's going on. And when I told them what was going on, they didn't believe me. They didn't believe me. But then I started letting them know, okay, so I had a dream about this, this, and this. So it's going to happen today, tomorrow, or this week or something like that. They thought I was crazy. Then everything started happening. They started seeing it. I told my friend some stuff, and then he noticed that it happened too. It was like very wild. It was very wild. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to speak to. I didn't know what was going on. And I went to the hospital, and they was trying to put me on pills and stuff. And no, that is not, they try to suppress this, especially white people towards black people. Because think about it, black people, we are the magic of this world. That's why our ancestors built this world. That's why they were strong enough to be the slaves, because they could do it. That's because they had the strength. They had the power. We have power. We're brown. We have melanin from the sun. The sun give off melanin. Like, we the literal, like, queens and kings of this planet. And when our people believe that and understand that and embody that, that's when we start to thrive. And that's when they see us as a threat. And if we don't stick together when we start thriving like that, that's how they get to the point where they can knock us down and they can kill us and enslave us and, you know, do all of this bad stuff to us. But like I said, I don't know exactly right now with the pandemic if it's a race thing right now, but we can never, like, let our guard down and not think that it's people like that out to get us. Because if everybody have to go home and everything shut down, the world shut down, and this apocalyptic type stuff, we can't count on the police. We found out that last time. Me living in Gary, I knew that I couldn't call the police out there because they was not coming. They literally told me a lot of times that they wasn't coming when I called them. Like, what the heck? What you mean you ain't coming? And many people. They not. And I don't understand why people don't want to talk about this stuff if we are real spirits. People got to be real. One day we got to die. One day we gonna die. Rather we die together or we die one-on-one and however it go. Well, we die as our own spirit, but one day we all dying. So, to know in history of all of these pandemics, all of these massacres, all of these killings, and all of these tragedies, you cannot think like, you can't be lacking. You can't be lacking the thought process of, okay, things starting to look like the same things how it looked for these people when they got killed and they got murdered. If you see the same pattern happening before your eyes and you ain't putting two together, that's you destructing yourself. That's you putting yourself in a worse case scenario. And I think so too. I think it's only gonna get worse too. And I feel like when we go down on lockdown this time, it's gonna be worse. And I don't think it's gonna be worse. Like, oh, make sure you get a whole bunch of tissue and a whole bunch of food. Da da da. No, I think when we go on lockdown, it's either we're gonna continue to keep going on lockdown and do this cycle of lockdown. Then it's get summer, you could go outside, lockdown. But I do think that we gonna be out on the streets. I just think I keep having this same dream, and like I'm saying, my dreams be coming true. I keep having this same dream of being on a highway and no cars working. Like all of the cars died. Like it was no electricity, it was no internet, it was nothing. Like it was a blackout, literally. And we had no way of communicating with people other than the people we was around. And people was walking on the highways because the cars literally died. They didn't work. And I think, yeah, our president, vice president, but we can't even count on them because they have these 3D worldly titles or whatever that we kind of voted them into because they ran for it or whatever. But at the same time, we all equal. We all humans. So I don't believe in people having that are in like the government and stuff like that. I don't believe that they have as much power as we perceive them to have. Because we all the same type of humans. So if it's really like we saying something bigger going on and it's some prophecy God type stuff, some of them don't even believe in God. Some of them don't even believe the stuff that's in the Bible. So if they don't believe it, so they obviously they don't know. We cannot trust these people as much as we think we should. Yeah, colleges. Yeah, I think it's so stupid that they got people at school right now, and everybody getting COVID. Everybody is at school and they getting COVID. Now they telling all the kids, the parents, I mean, oh, your kid got exposed to COVID. A teacher had COVID. A student had COVID. Obviously, this is what's going to happen. That's why we would have to stay away from each other. Because if it's there, it's here. It's already here. It's not going to go nowhere. It's airborne. Little do they want to keep, like, they're not telling people. Obviously, it's in our respiratory system. Like, people gotta wake up. It's in the respiratory system. It's in our water. It's everywhere. I promise y'all, before COVID even happened and before they put it out there, it was December 2019, and I'm at my boyfriend's house because that was before we broke up. Um, and the water kept making me throw up. I'm never the person to get sick. I ain't never really been sick too many times in my life. But for some reason, the water kept making me sick. Every time I tried to drink water, I couldn't eat, first of all. But every time I tried to drink water, I kept throwing up. Like, and yeah, we gonna be out. People gonna be out because people got this money mind. People so hooked on money and think the world revolve around money when it really don't. A human being made money, made the system of money. So that's not, God don't care about no money. Right. Why would they make colleges and stuff like that more expensive instead of cheaper? That's so stupid to me. Yet they want these people to stay working for them. They want people to be nurses and be hospital people so that they can take care of the world that's getting sick. Like all of this stuff, like we never was prepared. We're not prepared for really what's about to happen. We're not prepared. And that's why the real meaning of life is having connections. The real meaning of life is experiencing things and gaining skills and gaining an honorable name and stuff like that. It have nothing to do with physical money, paper. If it cannot go with you and you die, it is not the true meaning of life. The United States be lying. They definitely be lying because all around the country, I mean not the country, all around the world, they're shutting down. Wait, I forgot what was shut down already. Something already shut down. because they're smart. Just like China was washing their streets. You ain't never in a million years seen the United States wash their streets and sanitize their streets. They barely want to fix the streets. They ain't never doing the stuff that people overseas have done during this pandemic. But that's why I'm saying they money hungry. They not thinking, like, they don't believe in God. They didn't got so much worldly power they don't even believe in the God. And that's why more people die than they get saved. That's why it's not that many people who really get saved. You heard, like, Noah and the ark people, it was less people than animals, and they only took two of each animals. Like, people is not like they hopefully this time is way more than just that many people, because yeah. Yeah, and they was never really taking real precautions. Talking about wash your hands, they never even taught people they never even taught people how to wash their bodies properly. Like, and then they started putting those coverings on the screens and on the pads when you press numbers and stuff. It's the same thing as if they wouldn't have a covering, because everybody's still touching the same thing. Like, America is really dumb. They try to make it seem like we like the best country. Like, no, America is like dumb. Like, the people just be dumb. It is bizarre to me. Like, and when the right, and I bet you a whole bunch of people been trying to go against what you saying, right, and been acting like you crazy or you don't know what you talking about, right? I promise you that's exactly what be happening to me. But it's okay, cause that just shows which side we gonna be on when everything hit the fan. That's why you can't let people persuade you. You can't let, if you know in your heart and feel it, and you just, it's like some type of way, you know what you saying right, and everybody around you like, no, it's not. I promise you, like, it's they sleep, they sleep, they sleep. No. Yep, and a lot of people, that's the same thing that was happening. They was talking about they going to work and they going to school, like you saying, and it's not even safe. Like, they never had this under control. The weather had it under control because it was hot. That's it. And they don't even understand that them putting themselves into that type of system is making them robots. It's like bots as fuck, because first of all, you being so eager to go back to work, and you don't care that, oh, COVID is happening. You don't care that you could be spreading the virus to the people you love at your house and everything, all of that kind of stuff, because you need some money. Money is really, all the people that got their money on credit cards, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna be there. So you should out of luck. It ain't gonna make sense. So then they gonna have to trade with paper money, and if a lot of people ain't gonna have their paper money, then the paper money gonna lose its value, because it ain't gonna be right no more. That's what I'm saying. Like, all of this stuff that's happening right now is stuff that went on in the past, and we know how everything happened in the past, how the timeline added up to what happened, and it's happening again. And a lot of people not understanding that. A lot of people didn't even listen in school when they was getting taught this part to even make references that we going through the same thing that the Spanish flu people went through. And that's good for your mom, because I wouldn't have let my kids go either, because I know I'm not. I know I'm not. That's why I took a gap year. Even though I would have did online, but it was just so much of my, like, mental health and my emotions and what I was going through and what's really happening that I felt like is happening with the world, which is what we talking about, is why I didn't invest myself in school, or try to invest myself in a job or all that kind of stuff, because I'm not no slave, first of all, and I'm not gonna risk my life for nobody or nothing. Especially people who don't even, I know for a fact they don't know the things that I know, because when I say the things that I say to them, they look at me like I'm crazy. They act like I'm crazy, but I know that I'm not, because I know how God worked in my life right now in the past year and a half. I know the things that I've been through. I know the things that I've seen that I've been through that seem so impossible to even be true. Yeah, I did it. I lived it. I witnessed it every day. Yet people would think it's crazy because they haven't witnessed it. And the fact that they haven't been through it tells me that I shouldn't be around them. And it do be people that I love, and do be family, and do be so-called friends, even though I don't got friends or whatever, but it do be those people that's so-called close to you. That's why in the Bible, so I don't think, of course, God didn't write the Bible. It's just people who went through the stuff that's in the Bible for real and can tell, like, so for real, this is what happened, and people probably thought they was crazy. Like, that stuff is like, it's a blueprint to how when God start working in the world and your life and stuff, how stuff be happening. Like Mary, for example. Mary, she didn't have sex. Yes, she had a baby. She had Jesus. All of these other people, John the Baptist, all of these people, Moses, prophesizing, dreams coming true, healing the sick, all that kind of stuff. Like, it's just like a lot of stuff. And it's like the Bible too, like when they say people, so when I was younger, I didn't believe what they was talking about in church and stuff, because I was like, if God want me to know this stuff, if Jesus want me to know him, then why haven't he told me himself? I'm just listening to these people. Why haven't he told me himself? So when I was younger, I never really stayed with church and stuff. I never really invested myself in it, because I'm like, I don't know about it. But after that stuff started happening to me, and then all of a sudden, everybody, oh, Revelation. I'm like, what's the book of Revelation? What's that? What's the book of Revelation? They're like, oh, it's in the Bible. In the Bible, I promise you, when they kept telling me this, and then I heard, oh, it's a book in the Bible, I was like, oh, so that's the sign God trying to tell me to go get the Bible and go read the Bible. So I did. And I tell you, oh my God, the very first space that I read which was Revelation. I read Revelation because that's what it was, everything was pointing to signs to go read Revelation. And that's what was going on. Exactly what Revelation is talking about, the book of Revelation, that is exactly what I felt like was going on last year during the end of May, beginning of June. No, all of June, July, all of that. The book of Revelation during the pandemic, that's exactly what made me believe that the Bible was real. Because I was experiencing stuff and thinking the same things before I read the Bible, of exactly what the Bible was talking about in the book of Revelations. I was like, the rapture. That's exactly the scenario, that the timeline and everything was exactly the things that I was getting like notes about and signs about. And I was like, okay, so this is real. So then I had to read the rest of the Bible, and it's a big book, but I was like, okay, so I need to go read the Bible. So I haven't read the Bible front to back, because I don't think that's how you're supposed to do it. Or at least that's just, not how I do it. That's not how I get led to do it. Usually I get prompted. Like, what I'm going to read today is Psalm 91. And that's only because I ran across it on my grandma page of her saying she keep her Bible on Psalm 91. So I felt like that was my sign to read, go around that area and read Psalm 91. But like I'm saying, so all of this stuff, yeah, it's really like history repeats itself. which makes sense because if we're in the Matrix and we're in a game and a simulation and all of that kind of stuff, that means that there's a systematic like outline. Like you have free will to do your own thing. Think about a video game. The levels is the same for everybody. The surrounding things, the play, everything. Like it's the structure and the setup is the basic same. It's like the same thing, same concept. Yet each player gonna go through the game a different way. You get to make your own avatar. How you say it? Why I say it like that? You get to make your own avatar, and then you get free will to go around the game however you choose to go around the game. Yet the game structure don't never change. It just changed the way you go through it. So if we is in a matrix, in a simulation, a game, all that kind of stuff, all of us are different ages, first of all, different generations, which means we are like levels in a game. We just in different places because we have free will to move about the game however we chose to move about the game. But things have a structure at the same time, which is like our lives. We born for a certain reason. We have a certain purpose in this world. We have certain attributes. Everybody have their own unique gift that God gifted them with when they was born and why they here for real. Yet we all have free will to either stay on the right path or do sinful things throughout our life and get off the right path and get on the wrong path. And we can continue the wrong path until the end and die. Or we can save ourselves from the wrong path, get back on track with our we still gonna be in the same game, the same simulation, no matter what. You just go about it. You pick your turns. You pick when to turn. You pick if you want to go left or you want to go right. You know, or you don't know, but I'm explaining it to you. So, yeah. But yeah, I love talking about this because this is real life. This is the real life. And actually, right now, like I already know, like we're gonna go on lockdown. It's going to be more intense the second time. You would think it would be less intense the second time because the first time was like a warm-up. But only certain people took the first time as a warm-up. Other people thought the first time was something and then they think that now, the world is back to normal. When really that was never it. All of this time we still been in a pandemic. We still been in a simulation of a prophecy playing out. But we have free will to hop on the right path so that we could get saved on the ark, which is not a literal ark because this time we not getting killed by water. Water is not how we are going to start the game over. It's going to be fire. It says it in the Bible. It's obvious. It's going to be fire. And if you think about it, how many places have been on fire this whole year? Just this year alone. How many wildfires and how devastating were they? Just this year. We knew in 2020 that the whole astrology stuff was saying the sun was way closer to us than it ever was. We was getting closer to the sun. And supposedly on December 21st, 2020, we were supposed to have that solar flash, that solar flare, and our pineal glands were supposed to open because the sun was bright enough for all of that. Which our pineal glands is our third eye. So, trendy third eye, medical pineal gland. And that's why it was important for you to look at the sun. It was important for you to drink your water, stop drinking milk, stop eating fattening foods, stop eating sugary foods, stop eating all of this processed stuff, start eating cleaner, die down on eating and being able to fast because you're going to need that skill. If you don't have the skill of fasting, this second lockdown, this next lockdown is gonna happen, you probably not gonna be a part of the survival rate, because if you don't know how to fast the right way where it don't affect you, not even your energy, if you haven't been able to do that, you've never been prompted to do that, none of that, you are gonna be SOL, shit out of luck. Yeah, this stuff is finna be wild. All I know is I'm finna be hanging out with the people who know how to cut down stuff, who know how to clean the water, who know how to find good resources. Even though we in such like humanitized parts of the world, like nature is not like nature anymore, and that's probably another reason why the world has to so-called quote-unquote end. And it's weird because even with the Bible and Noah and the ark and everything, it didn't destroy the planet, it destroyed the people, and we have to start over. It didn't destroy the planet. Think about where all the water is at. Our oceans, that's the water that killed the people. That's the water that killed all of those people. And that's another reason why the beast that comes out of the sea and the souls and everything, they're all under the water. Yeah. People don't want to talk about this, and people try to chalk this up as, oh, they're crazy, da-da-da. We're not crazy. We just understand exactly what we are here to do and what we are put on this planet to do and where we are. Because we're the kids that cried about it every day in preschool and in kindergarten and first grade. Where am I? Why am I here? Why am I in this game? Da 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 da. They thought we was crazy. They thought some of them knew, like, oh, they got genius in them. Like, let's see what subject they're really good at, because they knew. They were the smart ones who knew it's bigger than what the normal human mind thinks of it as. But yeah. That's why I am actually so mad that it's so many people in the quote-unquote crazy house on pills. These doctors put these people on pills. Like the kids with ADHD, they had a problem. No. Those people, our kind of people, we're more sensitive to the natural way of life. We're more in tune with the natural way of living, and it didn't fit the system that these sinful people who don't even believe in a God and believe in a higher power and a universe and everything, it didn't fit their worldly system. It didn't fit them making money. It didn't fit them gaining power on a planet that they knew one day they had to die off of and rise their spirit either up to God, to heaven, or up to God to get judged, to get cast down into hell. But guess what? Heaven and hell is on earth. So guess what that means? Reincarnation is real. And that's how you either get born into not born, but that's how you either get a good life or you get a bad life. And then how you maneuver through your life once you wake up and you get consciousness, that's your free will, and that's your chance to do it right again. Do it right again, or for the first time. That's why you can tell which number of lives you've had by your natal chart, your birth chart, your numerology chart, and all that kind of stuff. There's a reason why they teach y'all that it's wicked and that it's evil and witchcraft and stuff like that. Because it's powerful. Which means that it comes from the power source. Which means we are in tune with our power source. What is evil about that? That makes us more powerful than them. But they just have the advantage of being super sinful people who don't believe in that kind of stuff, yet they're afraid of it, that they do sinful things like kill those people. It says in the Bible that it's a sin to kill people. Yet what have we learned throughout history? All of these people killing other people and finding some type of way for it to be justified. Oh, they're witches, we have to hang them and kill them. Oh, they're black, we have to whip them and kill them. Oh, they're gay, we have to kill them. What? All of these sinful people. So I'm just letting y'all know, before we go on lockdown for this next time, it's deeper than what they want us to believe it is. So don't conform to this world. Don't conform to the sinful agenda that happens when God is working his path. Because while God is working, the devil is working. And just as hard as God is working to save us, that's not Jesus, the devil working just as hard to get us away from his saving. Misery loves company. Hurt people hurt people. So of course the devil wants all of those people to be his company. But love attracts love. Growth attracts growth. Abundance attracts abundance. So if you want to be on the good side of everything, first off, my first thing to do is to meditate. Meditate deeply. Heal from your past trauma. Detach from it after you heal from it, because that's how you know you really heal from it. It's not forgetting about it, because that's not healing from it. Healing from it is knowing the whole truth about the situation and being very real with how you feel about it and giving it to God. You speak it out loud and you tell God. And then if you don't heal like that, that means you have to speak it to somebody who did it or was involved in it or something like that. And that goes to all of the kids that got to go tell their parents, Mom, Dad, I wanted to kill myself multiple times because of the stress and the trauma and the burdens that you laid upon my life at a young age. You have to be truthful. And you can't sugarcoat things. Healing consists of being truthful. Healing consists of taking accountability for your wrongdoings, your actions, and letting other people, which you can't make them, but letting other people know where they need to take accountability too. But like I said, you can't force somebody to take accountability. You can't force somebody to be sorry about something they did. You can't force somebody to want to get saved. It's all their free will. But when it comes to you, you just have to do what's going to make you feel lighter, what makes your spirit flow a little bit higher. And this is a self journey. So do not attach anything you do in life to how it might make somebody else feel. Think about how it makes you feel. Think about the consequences that it will have on you. Now, if it's something bad, which that's why I'm saying it, because if it's something bad, then you should be thinking, oh, it's a sin, and, I'm going to get bad karma, so I shouldn't do it. So that's why I'm saying, really be truthful with the things that you decide to do with your life, the things you decide to believe, the things you decide to participate in, the things you decide to let into your life, the things you let leave your life. Because sometimes letting a good person and letting a good source leave your life because you're being toxic or you're not ready for something, it's going to be detrimental to your abundance and your existence. Because you had the choice, you had the choice to keep the high spirit in your life and let go of the negative spirit. And you chose the negative spirit and let the high spirit leave your presence, which you will never get the high spirit back again, because once it's out of your presence, it's gone forever. It don't wait for nobody. Time don't wait for nobody, and high vibrations don't wait for nobody. So everybody need to choose wisely. When this pandemic happened, make sure you're around people you actually trust. And when things really hit the fan, it's survival. It's survival. It's you against the world. Now that don't mean go out and kill people if they not. You have to. You have to do what's best for you. And with that being said, this video was way longer than I thought it was going to be, and I haven't even touched my sandwich yet, but I'm not going to make it longer than what it needs to be anyway, because I'm done talking about this. I'm going to leave the comments open on YouTube